Hello, how is everyone doing? I hope you can hear me. Please indicate if you can hear me in the chat so I know everything is all right. Awesome, that's great. I hope you really enjoy this webinar. This will be a bit different from what we had before. I hope you really enjoy this webinar. This will be a bit different from what we we will try to. Sorry about that. So in this webinar, I will generally try to show you really nice strategies on how to grow your operation. This will be mainly focused on that, on how to do. Actually, we've created funnels for you. I think 9 of them, especially made for white label and for selling. Obviously, they can be used for any type of selling as well, but they're mainly focused on the selling your products, selling your services, so that you can use them right away. And mainly we'll go over 3 main strategies. I will try to give you a few more as well if you have the time. And I will try to stop from time to time to answer any of your questions. And let me just grab my laptop so I can see your questions as well, so I can answer from time to time. So we're starting in a few minutes, just waiting for people to get in, and we can get started. And don't worry, if you miss some of the parts of the webinar, there will be a replay right after it, as you know, as every time, and I will email it to any of you, so you can check it out as well. So before we start, let's start with if anybody can, who want to share what is their goal for the next 3 to 6 months. Just let's start with what is your goal for the next 3 to 6 months. How many customers you want to acquire? So we can start from there. Generally, this webinar I'll try to be even more conversational than before, so you can ask questions. I can explore some of your markets and things that you want to do, so we can discuss them in the webinar as well. So more of it's still a webinar, but with some workshop parts. Can you also see my screen? I'm not sure my screen is visible. I think I stopped my share. So let me share it again. All right, should be able to see now the screen. Okay, so we have twice the feedback. Get 70 more clients, 200 meet customers, 2,500 MRR, 20, 30 new, 30 new. All right, so not too crazy of goals just yet, but I think with some of those you can actually achieve a lot more. It really depends on your dedication, which strategies you'll be picking to grow, and how motivated and how much time you can spend on those. Because as any business, as any SaaS, you'd have to spend some time, obviously, especially if you want to grow it really to be your main source of income. So you'd have to spend some time. Yeah, 1,000 customers within a year. It is very possible, and depends on if you're really dedicated and if you follow the things we share. I think it's not even impossible. It's quite possible, I'd say. If it's done smart, there is no impossible goal. All right, so let's just wait a couple more minutes and we can get started. And yeah, if you can share as well. So are you looking to build websites for customers, or mainly to provide it as a do-it-yourself solution, or it like some kind of a hybrid between those two? Which one is your main focus? What would you like to be doing with the white label in general? Yes, the niche will be going through the niche, so there will be a talk about that. Don't worry. Hybrid, yes. Hybrid is the best, especially if you're getting started. It's just the best way to grow, because you can, first of all, you can master the platform a lot quicker this way. You can get some extra income that you can then use to scale your operations. I'll show you exactly. Actually, the first strategy is about more about that part, and then scale it to another level with sales reps, etc. Yeah, I mean, in general, don't be scared to have a hard goal. It's better to have a big goal and to aim to that, because when you have a hard goal, you try to do things in a scale, and you try to do things. You're more, I wouldn't say more focused, but if you didn't get to the goal, you can at least, if you even achieve like 10-15% out of it, you still get great results, like 150 sites for a year. So yeah, aim for something big. Don't aim for something small, and then see how you get from there. But the industry is so big, so there is so many opportunities. There is thousands and hundreds of thousands of new customers that can be acquired. And it's just a matter of how we approach this market. And you're our partners, and we can definitely be able to do so, because we have something unique, I believe. I hope you believe in that as well. And we can really not just do a really nice business for ourselves, but help other businesses grow online as well, which is the ultimate goal. At least this is why we're doing all these amazing updates, all these funnels, all this now with the CRM as well, the separation of funnels and websites, the booking that we'll be trying to do very soon as well. These are all things focused to help businesses. And when you have happy customers, you get more referrals, and you get more retention, and more you can upsell better, you can profit more from your customers. All right, so let's get started then. For those who are missing out, so they can watch out the webinar later on. So in this webinar, like I said, we'll be getting a few strategies. You can get 100+ new customers in less than 3 months, and you can do it all by yourself, pretty much with one person operation. Obviously, you can scale it up afterwards and get to more customers. Some of the strategies, generally we'll try to get into 2-3 strategies, like I said, but there will be like some extra ones, and yeah, we can go from there. So let's get started. First, I want to start with Jose's white label as an example. Some of you might have heard of him. This is one of our best performing white labels, and I give him as an example because he started just like everybody else. There were only 2 employees 8 months ago, and they started from zero, and they're now all the way up to 1,400 plus websites, and they did it all by themselves, and they were just very dedicated into having this goal, and they quickly went from 0 to 580K annual recurring revenue in less than 8 months, all by themselves, with just the platform and obviously doing their campaigns. And I'll be going through one of the tactics is exactly with what the campaigns they do are, and their webinars. So we'll be going through the webinars, and we've created funnels for those. And yeah, they're just kicking ass, and they're on the path to get to around 3,000 active subscribers retained, because obviously there is some churn, they're losing some customers from time to time, but the rate they're acquiring and making sure that the customers are happy, they really have really nice retention. So they're on track to have more than 3,000. So they'll be reaching sometime this year, like the summer, like 1 million annual recurring revenue. So it is not impossible. It's something that any of you can actually do. So I'll try to show you how exactly you can do that. And yeah, they went from 2 employees to 15. So pretty nice sales team that they have created and support, because they have a lot of customers. So that's why we know what exactly can help you and how to get more customers and to convert them, because we've grown our website builder, and we've seen what our customers, partners have done that are successful, and we can share some of the tactics. And basically, there are just a few that you can grow and have this success as well. And mainly, the idea is to use the funnels and niche targeting and messaging. It's very important to be niche, and I'll be going through that about very soon. And who can apply these strategies? Any of you can apply these strategies. You can start it with one person operation. You can scale it up and having to hire more people. And if you have already a team, that can be even better, because you can prioritize different tasks to different people of your company and get faster to the desired goal. And it is for anybody who understands the platform. First and foremost is to understand the platform and to know pretty much everything about it. Because if you're selling something and if you don't know your product, it's bad. So that's why I always say, play around with the builder, build. That's why also it's good, the first customers that you find is people who you build funnels or websites for, because this way you better understand the platform, you generate some income by building the sites, charging more, but also understanding how everything works, so you can easily do it. And if when you're doing campaigns, you can answer, and you can do the campaigns a lot faster. And of course, has 0 days. What is 0 days? There should be no day where you don't spend some time working on your strategies, working on your marketing campaigns, working on your funnels, working on your white label in general. So every day, even if it's 30 minutes, spend some time to optimize, to check out, to see different things, to play around. Because if you do it every day and it becomes your habit to work on your SaaS, on your platform, and that can have great benefits along the way. How to stand out? This is obviously a very crowded space that we are in with the website and etc. But how to stand out? Standing out is obviously it's hard in a way that it's a big space and pretty much everything has been invented. But find something that you provide unique to the audience that you have, and what we currently have, I think, is unique, and what you currently have is unique because of the nature of the how the builder works. We're not anymore website builder, as you probably have seen that. we're trying to transition into a complete tool for any business that they can use. That's why we introduced the funnels. Funnels is something that no website builder provides. There is only a few funnel builders, and they are not really great, such as ClickFunnels, for example, etc. Very expensive, not so good as software, not user-friendly. And in general, this space is how business grows online has been um, very much the same for a long time. It's just websites most of the time, and this is what people are used to. But now we can change and disrupt this industry by providing something that is highly converting and a lot better in many times than a website, and provide it to the customers at an affordable price, not just for marketers, but for any business that they can take advantage of. And the issue with the industry is that 9 out of 10 businesses are failing online. That's why websites, everybody can build a website pretty much anywhere nowadays. So it's not a matter of where, but it's a matter of how you build it. Because okay, still a lot of businesses don't have a website, but even those who have a website are failing simply because just a website doesn't solve anybody problems. And it's better than anyone because you're in this space. There is so many different variables that you need to consider. Your messaging, people getting to your website, converting those people, and these are things that usually a business doesn't know how to do. And that's why we're trying to promote something and provide something that people actually can use pretty much on a daily basis. And when they're doing a campaign, for example, when they're spending money or they're trying to acquire from any channel, to be able to convert a lot more than just having a simple page, a simple website that in most cases people are bouncing off or not finding the information they need. So we try to solve this problem, really. So who is your ideal marketer? This is where we have to start to begin with. When we're trying to grow our builders, who is your target? Who is your ideal customer? How you can define it? And the main idea is to pick a niche. When you try to market to everybody, you are kind of destined to go too broad, not focused on a specific problem, and then the messaging and everything from there gets kind of blended with everything there is on the market. So by picking a niche, it's a lot easier to have a really focused message for this market that you're trying to onboard. Don't worry if it's too small of a niche. That's even better in some way to get started, because this way you can create a really focused messaging. You can have very little to none competitors, so it's easier to convert. And then after you master or acquire customers from that niche, you can spread to different niches. So this is one of the expansion, the circle expansion of niche markets that you're trying to approach. So start with one, be narrow, figure out what is the market that you try to start with, and then you can go to other markets and replicate what you've currently done into more markets. So how do you find the niche that you are looking for? This probably you've seen in a previous webinar that we've done. So you can use this like a table, and the top one, just type in which is your target audience, what is the segments of this targeted audience, the market size. You can type in a number anywhere from let's say from 3 to 1, 3 being the most and 1 is the least. So you can say how big is the market size. That will determine how many addressable market there is that you can try and approach. What is the accessibility? So how easy it is to get to this market, and what budget do they have to spend for, let's say, a new website, a new funnel, a new online presence for their business. What is the pain level? Again, from 3 to 1 to all this, what is the pain level and how much that's a problem for them not having a website? Is it an urgent problem that they have, that they're really actively looking for a solution? And what is the customer life cycle? So for how long they would be using you as a as a service provider. And the good thing about our space is that when you go to websites and funnels in general, then the life cycle, the lifetime value is quite high, because people, when they build a website, they usually need it for a long time. If their business dies, usually they might be trying something different. So you still need a website. So the customer life cycle is pretty big. So when you summarize all this number, you'll be getting a priority number, and that's, you can do that for different niche markets that you are most interested in. And then you can see what is the highest, the one with the highest numbers is the niche market that you can start with right away, and then you can prioritize the other ones afterwards. But I guess for what we are doing here, you can go sometimes broader as you provide, websites and funnel sales, online stores, some way for businesses to grow online, for small and medium businesses. But if you can narrow it down to something like a specific market, that will be better in terms of messaging. So again, when you're doing this and you're LDO customer, there's a few things you have to look at, which are the characteristics of your ideal customer. So what defines the problem of, how do you define the problem of this ideal customer in this market? How big is the niche? Obviously, you went over that. How urgent is the issue? How easy to get to that group? And what should be avoided when you try after this market? By that we mean, for example, if there is a segment of this market that is not interested and never tried, for example, having a website, something like that, they're usually in such part of the market that it will be hard to convince them. When you try to convince somebody that they need your solution, that's usually not a good start. So better to be looking for people who already have at least some experience, who are interested in having something online, not to approach people who never had an experience, who never even thought of having something like that, because they'll be just really, really hard sell, and you'll be wasting your time with such customers. So go after people who at least have some knowledge or that. So what are your customer goals? This is very important when you're building your sales funnels and when you are doing any call. Because, well, in general, in our space, in most cases, of course, it really depends on the niche as well. But in general, getting more calls, more leads, or more sales are the most important parts for any business. It's very important for you as well, because you're a business, online business. So getting calls and leads, obviously, to get this communication between you and the customer and the visitor, and then turn it into a customer or direct sell, depending if you're selling through your website, whatever the service and the product is of your business. So these are the main goals, I suppose. The different niche markets can have different goals, slightly different, but these are the main goals for any small and medium business, obviously. And yeah, I'll go why it's so important. So how do we or you help them to achieve their goals? And I've listed already some of the things that we point as main ways to achieve them, because our solution, your solution, is fast and easy to execute. So it's easy for them to do it themselves. It's fast. They don't have to spend thousands. That's why it's affordable. They don't have to spend thousands for designers, developers, marketers, etc. They can do it themselves, or they can do it through you. You can do it for them. But again, I suppose that would be more affordable than hiring somebody who can custom-made it a solution for them. You can assist them personally, doing one-on-one calls, for example, having a live chat, doing webinars, doing workshops. This personal assistance is very important, and this what helps them, giving the tips, and this personal assistance can really help them build an online business. And of course, highly converting campaigns with funnels to get more leads and more sales. Because okay, you build something online, obviously you have to get traffic to it, and by having these optimized sales and funnels. Funnels for sales and leads, they can help to optimize and to get a few times more people converting rather than sending it to a straight page. So that way they can achieve more of their goals by having more converting pages. So let's start with the first strategy. And my first strategy for today is going to be funnels with one-on-one calls. I think that will be the most ideal for most of you to get started, at least, to talk to the customers. And I'm starting with this one because of the importance of discussing with your customers, knowing their pains, their needs, their goals, the strategies that we are talking here. And you can easily do that by having one-on-one calls. And having one-on-one calls is a lot easier to convert. It's actually pretty much the easiest way to convert a visitor to a customer. I probably done calls with almost everybody in this webinar, or at least most of you, and most of you are partners. So we've created this bond through one-on-one calls. I showed you the platform, I showed you the product, I answered your questions, I assured you of any doubts that you might have. So you can do the same thing for your customers as well. And to the benefits, what are the benefits of any funnel? I'll be going through the funnel for the first few funnel templates that we've created for you. But again, what are the benefits of the funnel? Highly focused, highly converting, and easy to optimize. They're focused because they're focused on one specific goal, which in this case will be, in this first strategy, will be getting a call, somebody booking a call with you so you can have this conversation. They're converting because they're focused on that one goal. There is no distractions like in your main website where you have a lot of navigation, you have a lot of information for different things. Here, everything is focused on one thing. And easy to optimize, obviously, because you can do A/B testing, you can try different things, track your conversion, and understand better your audience. So let's go to the first strategy and some of the amazing designs that we've made for you. All right. So this is in the white label demo, and I'll be just showing you here some of the funnels that we've created. So we've created, I think, 8 or 9 funnels for you that you can find on your main website. When you get to your main website and click on funnels, create a funnel, you'll see the white label growth section. This section is only visible for you as a white label partner. And here you see the different designs that we've made for different funnels. Actually, there are 8. Yes. So you have 3 webinar and 3 book a call. Then we have 2 masterclass tutorials as well. So let's start with the first book a call funnels that we've made for you. So you can let's start with this one, book a call 1. Just like that, we've added our first funnel that you can use straight away. So you can convert a lot more of your customers. We've added some copy, so you can use our copy, or you can try out different messagings. And actually, I'll be talking about the messaging right after this strategy. And actually, I'm sorry, you should not, when I said you can try, that's not true. You should try different messagings, different copies, different titles and headings, because it is important to know what converts best. That's why the funnels and A/B testing can be so amazing. So let's say that we're not sure if this message will be converting the most. So we can just split test it, just like most of you should know that. You can just split test, and you can try with different heading for your A/B test. Now, when somebody enters, it will be split 50-50. So you can see what can actually get more to that book to call. So every call to action on this funnel, on this landing page, is book a call. I'll be going through the funnel in a moment, but yeah, all the buttons are going to the next step. So we can easily track when people are converting from this or this step. So you can see which one is better. So you can select the winner after a certain amount of time, and then you can split test again. You can split test with different messaging. So you can do that a few times to see the best results. So this is how you test your funnels and your acquisition channels. So here we have a message and we have a video. Disregard the image of the video. I just added something that looks good. At the moment, we haven't yet added any videos of our own. Personally, I think it's best for you to create your own videos. And for this specific funnel, I think the best way is to have somewhere around maybe 5 to 10, or you can test out with a you can test out with a B-test with for example, with a different video as well, to see if the longer video converts more with the same layout, for example, or the shorter one, which one gets more calls. But in general, it's good to have anywhere from 5 to 10, I would say, minutes, a video just explaining about your services, how you can help them. And when you do those videos, the most important part is to talk about the benefits in your copy as well. Talk about when you're building your websites, any business that you're doing, emails, anything, always talk about the benefits for the customer by using your product. Don't talk about the service, about the product itself. Talk about what they'll be getting by using you, by using your product, such as leads, calls. That's why the message is this: get more leads, calls, sales for your business. In general, it's not so good of a message because it's too broad, but because right now we don't know exactly what the customer needs. But if you're going after, for example, e-commerce stores who want to get more sales, we have actually started such funnel as well for you. You can say get more sales, for sure. Get more sales and sell more products for your business today. Do it with funnels. Forget about sending people to your website. Start with sales funnels. Or you're not getting enough sales for your business, start with these funnels. I'll show you how you can do that. And talk about that. Talk about the benefits, how amazing it is, and just mention the builder, the platform that you're using, that they'll be getting as part of the whole process. And then engage them to book a call so you can discuss their business. And it can be a 15-minute call, so they can book and get to the next page, which is the book a call page. Book a demo with you so you can discuss and easily convert them. It's very, very nice this way. Usually, such pages, if people are on this page, usually it's around anywhere from, depending really on how targeted the market is, the targeted the traffic is, anywhere from 5 to 15, 20% conversion you can have on book a call such landing pages. It really, again, depends on the copy, depends on the videos and the traffic. Here in this landing page, we have another copy that we've added for you. Obviously, you can change it the way you want. It's about happy customer. One of the most powerful ways to pursue somebody to contact you and to be engaged, which is booster calls, call to action boosters are the testimonials, and in this case, like a small case study, you can say, like a testimonial. You're talking about Jenny. This is fictional Jenny. Nobody knows that it's fictional, but you can obviously use your own case studies, which is obviously a lot better. And this is one of the main things that you should always focus on, to have your own case studies, like I did with Jose. It's obviously it's not a case study, you just share his story. No, it's like in-depth how they did it. I'll go into that in the strategy number 2, actually. But here we have, why she get the success, why the customer can also have the same success like Jenny, and what exactly happened for their business. In the first 4 months, you had double the sales, hired more employees, blah, blah, blah. So they can have the same success as her. All they have to do is book a call with you. So they read that, they're, see a smile person, so they're more likely to take action on your website. You can obviously say stuff like change your business overnight, get more leads and sale, some other copies that we've added for you. If you don't like them, you can obviously modify and add your own copies there. And about how do we help their business? By booking a call and discussing their goals, again, call to action. we create amazing funnels and websites for you, so you can get as much conversation as possible and book a call, and very affordable. And you book your success story begins now. Why this solution is so great. You get access to this platform where you don't have to spend thousands on developers and designers. You can do everything yourself, or we can do it for you for a small fee, for example. And again, call to action. Everywhere we have the same call to action, and in this case is red, which attracts the attention of the visitors. And again, here we have even more, some of the happy customers. So it's not just Jenny. We have a lot of traction with different customers. So obviously here you can change out a few things, images if you want, and something about the company, who you are, what you're doing, tell your story. For example, you can have it in a few sentences. We were struggling, but we are now trying to help and really help businesses to share our knowledge, stuff like that. And what is your expertise, for example, all the benefits that you'll be getting from working with you. And that everything is free to get started with a free consultation. Do you want to kickstart your business? Let's start now. Free consultation. It's free of charge. Just hop on a call with us. And on the call is what is happening as a sale. So when they click on it, what happens? They go to the next step of the funnel, and they go to the booking section. Obviously, this is a very basic one where you have a bigger call. We also included another fictional, but you can add an actual testimonial, like, I was able to get this amount of sales, etc., etc. And here you can add your booking widget. We haven't added any because obviously you'd have to add your own. Very soon we'll be looking to create our own booking option for where you can use and your customers can have bookings for their business or for your calls, for example. But you can use, for example, Calendly, HubSpot. They have free ones. Calendly especially, they have a free embed as well. And I can show you now how you can easily do that. Calendly, oops, not calendar. Actually, yes. So you can see in the account, I'm not using Calendly anymore, but you can embed. I think that's it. And you should have an embed option here somewhere. Yeah. So you can copy this code for Calendly. It's free of charge, so you can use it anywhere, and just use the code widget and just enter it here with your Calendly, and you can start accepting calls, bookings from Calendly. So they can select a day, they can select an hour, and that's it. You can start filling your calendar, your Google Calendar with your customers. So this way you can scale to a way that you have full calendar each day. You can do calls 15 minutes is just enough, so you can get calls with all your customers. And on these calls, there are a few things that you have to do. And actually, I forgot to do slides for that. But the main things when you're doing a webinar, a call with a partner, is actually with a potential customer, is to first of all ask them what their business is about, what is their target market, because that will mean that you really want to do something for them when it's targeted for that. And then ask them what are their goals, what they're trying to achieve with their website, with their campaigns. So, for example, if it's leads, tell them that you can create an amazing funnel for their product, promoting it on top of the website. So obviously, information about the business and stuff. So you can have this. You can have it so that you understand better what their goals are, meaning that you can create really nice funnels, really nice websites and pages for them. And then, of course, ask them what if they previously had a website, or if they currently have a website, why they're not happy with their current solution. So make sure that you're very personal with them, that you understand their pain, which is the most important, and you try to solve their pain by providing the best solution. And most of them will probably not know what a funnel is, if not all. So you can easily even show them how amazing they are, and that you can do it for them. They can do it even if they want to on their own, by having access to your platform. And then, of course, you can collect more information about exactly what they want to be done. And afterwards, you can contact them again about, what is your, or in the call, you can tell them what is your fee, for example, for such creation. Another way that I find really interesting, that you can actually, even if you're trying to approach a specific, businesses that already have a website, you can actually even get their logos and pre-made, just for a few minutes, a small demo of their website with their logo. So they really get very impressed, because we've done it before. So you can do that like that, and it has really nice impact on closing. So again, what is the some of the percentages from a landing page to a book to call is anywhere from 5 to 20. It really depends on your copy and how targeted your traffic is. Around 60 to 80% of your actually, we have a funnel for that, but around 60 to 80% of the people who book a demo call with you will show. And the conversion is really high when you're on a demo call. Of course, you have to optimize your pitch, and your first times might not be so great, and depends on how experienced you are. But usually there is anywhere from 20 to 50% conversion for call. So almost, every third or every second customer visitor who booked a call can become a customer of yours. That's why they're really nice ways. So you can have a lot of calls each day by using this method, by providing some information up front, booking a call, and just 15 minutes is usually enough to discuss the basics about the business and how you can help them out. So we've created a few different funnels for booking a call. Type of funnel. One is this one. Obviously, it's pretty much the same idea, a bit different layout. So you can use this one instead, or I think there was another one. Yes, this one, for example. This is another design. Again, if you don't want, you can skip the video. In general, I think personally that the video tells so much more than just a few images. That's why I always, in my funnels, usually add videos. But you can add some graphics, or some graphics, for example, if you wish. But I think video is just best. If it's personal, especially, it's converting quite a lot. So these are some of the funnels that we've created that you can use straight away into your website, and start promoting and bringing some traffic to them. And I'll get to the traffic part in a moment. So this is strategy number one. And I think this strategy can be great for all of you to at least get their first 10, 15 customers. And you can actually do that very fast, as long as you bring some targeted traffic to your funnels, get a lot of bookings, and sometimes might be even overwhelmed with a lot of design requests that you might have. But yeah, if you're alone, obviously you can see some days you might stop the ads and just work on the few websites that you have, and then continue with the ads. This way is scalable to a moment where you cannot get any more design requests. Then you might want to start in that point, start to look for help from another person, from a freelancer, from hiring somebody who can do, for example, the calls, by giving them some script and stuff like that, or for them to build a website, so you can expand the operations. If this really works, where you spend, actually we'll be getting that as well, like X amount of money. If you're getting X amount of return, you can obviously scale it by hiring salespeople who can do the calls, and other people who are doing the designs. And obviously the pricing will be going in a moment. But yeah, this is a very actually scalable, depends on how you approach the markets. But yeah, I think this is the best way for you to get started, at least with getting your first 10, 15 customers and learning the platform, learning the needs and about the customer, what exactly do they need, what are their pain points, so you can optimize your videos, your sales pitch, so when people are coming, to convert a lot more by knowing what their pains are and how you can help them out. All right, so these are the first strategy, and we can go to the next one. And just excuse me for a moment, just to get my charger for the laptop to see your comments. All right, so shall we do a question now, answering to see what you might have as questions for the first strategy. We'll be having 2 more strategies and some other amazing things, such as customer acquisition costs, how to see what amount of money you can spend of getting a new customer, how to scale your operation in general. So let me see if you have some questions. All right, so then let's continue then with the next strategy that we have in hand. Actually, yeah, the strategy one, I wanted to show you. This is, for example, the outbound prospecting, such as LinkedIn, Facebook, cold emailing. This is a free way to get more people to your landing pages and your strategies in general, not only for the first strategy. But this is usually, in general, outbound prospecting. That's like cold emailing, sending LinkedIn messages, connecting with people there, trying to get them to your landing pages, sending Facebook messages, Facebook requests, stuff like that. It's usually not so many people are answering, anywhere around 5-6% usually. But it's free. It's a free way to get some traffic to your campaigns. You can start with that one, and of course try different traffic sources. And usually, if somebody says that they will be looking at your landing page, around 70-80% will actually go to your website and watch your video or webinar page, whatever the pitch is. And anywhere from 5 to 20% should book a demo if they watched your video. It really depends on your copy and your video. And around 60-80% will show for that video, for that demo call, excuse me. And out of this demo call, it really depends on your pitching skills and what exactly you are going to be doing as a solution of the customer. Around 20-40% will become a customer. And you can optimize this process, obviously, and it's required to optimize the process by knowing their pain, by knowing what exactly they ask you, what they need, to optimize your sales pitch, your video, and your ads as well when you're doing ads, to make sure that more people are getting to your landing page and converting. So some traffic sources, such as that you can use for getting more people to your sales funnels, because all right, you create a funnel, but how to get more people to it, and especially the ones that are the correct ones. One is the outbound prospecting. It's good. The good thing there is that you can obviously select individually who to connect with and who to message or cold email to. So at least you can nicely target them. With PPC, obviously, that's the most massive way to do so, by having Google Ads, Facebook, or LinkedIn ads, for example. That's the best traffic source, and you can start with small amount of money to get started with small amounts, and then optimize. Obviously, depending on how your results are, you can spend more, and by seeing what is your conversion rate, how many people and how many booking calls you've got, what is your cost for a booking of a call, what is your conversion for an actual customer, so you can calculate if it's worth it, or if you want to try different strategies altogether. So these are great ones, and I think we'll try to do some webinars and videos on that soon as well. So a question: cold emailing is emailing to people who you don't really know. I mean, if you found their contact somewhere, if you bought them from somewhere, scraped them, that's cold emailing without them really knowing what you do, and just trying to get them to use your service. Usually it's not very highly conversional, but you can do it on a very big scale. Current email list, obviously that's for emails that you currently have. It's obviously that's different from cold emailing. We also know who you are. Organic is nice. Organic is not very scalable because it's not predictable how many people will be going to your site, and it usually takes a lot of time, especially if you're promoting for a funnel. And that's even worse because it's hard to optimize the funnel actually to get more people, because it takes too much time organically to get to a funnel. I guess through some blog posts and stuff, you can get people to your funnels. That's one way. But again, you don't know how many people will be getting, and it's time consuming, and the results are unknown for the most part. And referrals obviously pretty much the best way to get people to you, and referrals can all kind of skip this whole process because they are usually looking for a specific solution, and you provide it. They just contact you about you resolving the problem. And of course, events, offline type of ways to get more people to your operation. It's a great way. If you have such local events, it's nice to mingle with some businesses, to contact and share information. We've done it, and it has some effect. Depends really on how aggressive you are and what kind of event you're going to. So how many traffic sources do you currently use? If you can use the chat, that would be great. So how many traffic sources of the ones that we listed, or maybe some other ways that you're using to generate traffic for your current websites or current funnels at the moment? Or you're not using any? Well, I guess nobody's using the chat. So I'll be continuing then. Haven't started yet. All right, so the whole process about getting more customers, getting more visitors into customers, is the most important part, is the customer journey. And the customer journey is what is the process, what are the steps they went through to get from being just somebody who is interested into somebody who is going to pay to you. And that's when they get to the aha moment, the moment where they realize that the value of what your product provides is higher than the pricing that you ask for it. Then they see, all right, this will get me this amount of new customers. Obviously, that's worth it to pay X amount of money. So you have to get them to this aha moment the fastest way possible. And how many steps that usually takes? Generally, you need 7 touch points. That's something like a formula that you usually use to get to convert somebody into a sale. And touch points are anywhere from the first thing that they see your ads to all the way to the purchase of your product. Some great ways to do these touch points are through blog posts that you're sharing with them, through videos that you have. So the video, for example, that they saw in your landing page, that's one touch point. Then the booking, the one-on-one call is another one. Then you can send them some other videos, some other emails. So usually around 7 touch points to convert a customer into a sale. So getting into that is really important. That's why messaging is so important. When you do one-on-one calls, when you do your pages, be personal and speak the customer's language. This way you can obviously have a better conversion and better engagement with you and what you're providing. So that's why make sure that everything is not too formal, be more personal, and ask them, always talk with your customers to make sure that you have this connection between you and them. So how do you create ads and pages that sell? First of all, test your headlines. Always, it's so important to test your headlines because that will help you to see what exactly converting. So that's why I said the A/B testing is so important. So test out the landing page, see which headings works the best, or which arrangement, which video. Then test out again with the winner and another one. So this way you can do a few tests and pick the best one. Within a few weeks, you can have like the best selling pitch headline that you have on your website. Talk about the benefits. Again, when you're doing a business, a landing page, a video, an email, always talk about the benefits that the customer will get, not about the product itself. The product is just the means to getting to their benefits. So when I often say we are not in the business of making websites, we're in the business of helping businesses grow online, selling dreams. Everybody's dream is for their business to be successful, to get more customers, to have more free time, to have a bigger team. And just they're coming to you because they have this issue. They want to grow. They don't know how. And just the website is what they think is what they need. What actually they need is obviously the sales, the stuff like that. And you can provide them through different options such as the website, the funnels, etc. And always tell a story. Tell your story about who you are, why you're doing this, how you can help them, why you want to help them. So it's more personal. It's very important to be personal in what you're doing. Otherwise, it's just some corporate guy talking to me, and I don't really care about. They don't really care about me. But when you're personal, when you do these one-on-one calls, you create this bond, which helps a lot in terms of conversion of your visitors into customers. So always do that. And some headline inspirations, you can search in Google the 100 greatest headlines ever written. And you get a few lists with really nice headlines over the years that have been used for newspapers, for example, for some kind of ads that converted are like the greatest ones ever. So you can use one of those and just convert them for your messaging towards your customers. Follow the same strategy, you'd say, but use it for your business. And they are the best, the greatest for a reason. So learn from the best and test it out with your headings. And now let's get to the second strategy. This strategy is what you can scale really big. And this is what Jose was using and is using currently for getting those 1,400 currently active subscribers. And we've created strategies for those, and I'll show you exactly how they're doing that they're getting so many customers into their platform. They're not doing anything too special. They're doing just webinars, and they're sending traffic through Facebook, usually from Facebook, because the click there is better. But you can obviously use different means, different channels, Facebook groups, some other type of groups, LinkedIn as well. I think is great for generating people to your webinar. And here is actually, let's start with this funnel that we've created for you, like webinar 1. And what they do with the webinar is they started, so you and they started with live webinars, obviously, and you should do the same. Later on, you can have evergreen if you're going to be going that route. Always start with live webinars for the same reason, because people, you see how they react to what you're saying, you see how much you convert, you see what questions they're asking you. So you can then optimize your webinar. When you do like 5, let's say, webinars, you already know what people are asking. So you can include those things in the following webinars and have a webinar that actually sells quite a lot, answers all their questions and concerns. So you can sell a lot more. So there can be a difference from now 2 or 3 time conversions from the first to the 5th webinar, just because of that, because you can optimize the process and what message you are sending. So here are some headlines again that we've done for you. Obviously, you can use those. You can change them. We've added some copy, and of course, call to action, which is important to see. Call to action, no, countdown, to show exactly how many, what's the time remaining until the webinar of your own. And you can have a video showing what the webinar is going to be about. It can be like a couple of minutes long, just telling you the basics, and of course a big call to action to sign up for the webinar. It's nice to have something like hurry, limited slots are available, just join now, so that you can capture their email and contact information. Then you can have such as something like you learn 3 high impact strategies, and you're sharing what these secrets will be in these strategies. Such as how to create highly converting funnels, how to write compelling copy, how to promote your website and funnels, which is the main idea, depending on what your campaign is about, who's you're targeting. If it's small and medium businesses, something like that might work. If it is a specific market, let's say restaurant owners, you'll be talking about especially how to build your page for your restaurant, how to get more bookings for your I don't know, Monday, Tuesday nights, and how to promote your pages on social media, for example, whatever. So you best know your market that you're targeting, so you can fit whatever the messaging is here, obviously, in your videos, in your webinar as well. So when you're doing a webinar, it's always nice to have some social proof, again, from happy customers, telling you about what is, how amazing things that they've learned from the webinar, how they've grown. So we've added some copies here. Obviously, you can change them if you don't like them, if you want to put something of your own. And again, who is talking? Be more personal. So I'm talking. So I'm adding my image here, adding my name and what are my expertise, so they know who exactly are they going to be spending, let's say, 1 hour with. So make sure that you have that. And of course, again, call to action at the bottom, so that easily they can get from the landing page to the next page, where they can go to the opt-in. Actually, this is a pop-up. So in this pop-up, they can type in their contact information. This way you capture them as people who at least see some information about what you're providing, and they decided to take this action. So you can now capture them and have them later on. You can send them more information to onboard them for. This is how you build your email list for when you're doing some kind of promotions, some kind of other funnels that you can send them to. And then, of course, you redirect them after the submission of their contact information to the thank you page, where they're being congratulated that they booked the webinar, and they can add it to their Google Calendar, for example. To I don't know if it's YouTube like we do it. You can have a YouTube reminder, for example. It really depends. You can have no call to action as well, but you can have this to go to another page. Actually, no show message, but go to another page, and by default it will be the next step. So even somebody signs up like minutes before the countdown is over, after it's done, they will be redirected, like it says here, to the live webinar. And the live webinar can be just an embed of like YouTube, for example. If you're using some software, very soon, probably next week, we'll be adding a simulation of a webinar. So it will be a custom video player that you'll be able to use inside your pages. and simulate live feed. It will be just from file playing or from YouTube, but they'll be not be able to see that it actually is. Yeah, you can do evergreen webinars this way instead of doing them live all the time. But again, that's for later stage when you optimize your webinar messaging, your webinar, and then record it when you know that it's working. And you just all you have to do is get more people, but you don't have the time to obviously do them all the time. And you can have a evergreen webinar sales page. And of course, you can have a yes, I want the deal. At some point of the webinar, you can tell them, check out this deal that we have for you. In this strategy, this is what exactly how Jose did it. They've done a live webinar, and after that, evergreen, of course, where they're talking about a few specific things. The webinar is quite long, around 2 hours. Obviously, you can do a smaller one if you're going to be doing that route. I highly encourage it if you have if you want to go to do it. So what they do is, first of all, I'll be actually sending you a webinar script that you can check out. But the main idea about the webinar is that, first of all, you show them some success of other customers that use your product. You always have to say who you are. If you can show yourself in the webinar, that will be even better. This way they can see that they're talking to a real person. Tell them that they can do it themselves. They can be successful. You show them some other people who already succeeded with what you're doing and your platform. Afterwards, talk to them about generally how to grow their business online. Then don't start about the platform and how easy it is and stuff like that. Talk to them about how they can grow their business, what exactly how they can target, similar things to what I've talked earlier in this webinar, and tell them how they can do their ads, how they can get more people into their business, to their pages, even can show them how to do their Facebook ads and Google ads, for example. And generally talk to them about how to do all these things. When you're doing something like this, always give something for free. When you're trying to create this bond between you and a customer, it's best to give them something for free. Why is that? Because this creates this bond between you and them, that you're ready to give them something without nothing in return. So they know that, all right, he's actually trying to help me out. He doesn't want my to pay right now in order to give me all these things. They just give it to me. And you can always say, even if you don't like what we have as a software, you can always use those things anywhere to grow your business. And at the later stage, like in the second half of the webinar, they're then just saying that if you want to actually have really highly converting pages, you can start with the funnels. You can, with one click, we've created amazing funnels for you to capture your leads from your campaigns, so you can get more calls to your business, you can get more people contacting you, or sales, whatever the idea of the funnel is. And again, this is on the later stage, and then they start showing how the platform works and how simple it is, and how they can save them so much more than having to hire somebody and like marketers and developers and designers, which can be thousands and thousands of dollars and take them too much time. And they show them how they can do it all by themselves. But again, this is at the later stage of the webinar, when they already created this bond between them. Because if you start pitching them something, when you see somebody on the street and you start pitching them right away, somebody that you don't know, trying to sell them something, nobody's going to buy, because they don't know you, they don't trust you. Who are you that you're selling me this thing, whatever it is? Even if it's super simple and cheap, why would I buy from you? So you create this bond, so they know, all right, this guy's legit. He's doing this and that. He helped this and this people, businesses. They show me some of their testimonials, some of their case studies, how they've done it. He showed me, he explained to me how exactly I can help my business, even if I don't buy from him. I'll still learn something. I still got something out of this 1 hour webinar so far. So I'm happy, even if nothing happens afterwards. And then you can show them, all right, but do you want to actually do it simple? Here's how we can do it. And you start showing them the product. You show them, all right, here, this is the simplest way to build funnels. This is the simplest way to drag and drop and arrange your pages. You don't have to spend thousands. And it's so easy this way to sell instead of having to sell them right away. And what they do is at the end of the webinars, they're sending them link, or just they can click on a call to action to get to the actual promotion. And what they do is they do not sell right away. They do not sell the full year. They sell 3 months. And this is what you can do now as well. We've created the subscription widget. I don't know if probably most of you have seen it. It's a new widget that you can add to your main website only. And it's for subscriptions of your white label. And you can drag it and put it into your pages. Here is one of the page designs that we actually created for you. If you create a new page, you can actually have, again, the growth. You have these 2 designs that you can always use. Just made it for you if easily that you can use them. And it contains the subscription widget. The subscription widget allows you to charge for whatever plan you want. If you've seen my video, you have regular plans that you can sell. You can sell all of them. Let me just do it with one step so it's easier for you to see. So people can actually select what kind of plan they want to get. They just select if it's yearly, if it's monthly, and they can start buying right away. But what you can do with the actually like this, what you can do with the funnel when you're doing for a webinar, you can send them a promotion. And actually, any funnel that you're doing, you can send them a promotion instead of having them to subscribe for a full year. You can do a 3-month subscription for the business plan, let's say. This way, they will be charging a lot less. They'll be, they will have to commit a lot less to get to these 3 months to get to your platform. By give them this promotion. You select from here what kind of a plan do you want them to subscribe to. You can add extra charges. You can add a bump offer as well. So if you're promoting this webinar, but you want to also upsell your, let's say, a book or design services for a website, or we'll design the funnel for you or design a website for you, you can create such bump offer. Bump offer is just selecting a product that you currently have in your store. So you can just create a store product, which is, let's say, website building for $3.99, let's say. You just select it, and just like that, you create a bump offer. Yes, I want web design from you, web design. Just some example of bump offer, so you can see it. So just like that, you can create bump offers. Of course, that's optional if you want to have such extra product. If not, you can just remove it. So this way, at the end of your webinar, just send them link, send them to call to action, so they can get to this page where they can purchase your services right away. And with this widget, you can actually have them to create an account at the same time. And the next step would be for them, after they complete the order, this is just the same thing as in the bidding section, but it is in the website. So you can capture them when they're hot. That's the idea here. When the customer, especially if they stay until the end of the webinar, obviously that's, if they spend like hour and a half watching you, talk, obviously they're interested in what you have to say. So especially from the sales pitch, if they get to this page, obviously they're very interested. So they're hot, so they're easy or to get converted. So you can use the subscript widget for exactly that. So you can capture them and sell them a promotion with a small amount that they can pay to get started. And of course, always provide 14-day money-back guarantee. So we have with this, actually we provide as well 14-day money-back guarantee for you as well for all the subscriptions. I think above 2 months, I think for all of them we provide 14-day money back. So you can provide it without worries that if they cancel, that you'll be charged by us. Don't worry, we will not charge you as well, or we will refund you if we already charged you. So you can use that. You can use obviously scarcity countdown. This offer is very limited. You cannot get them anywhere, which is kind of true because in your builder you'll not be able to get for 3 months. It's either monthly or yearly. So you can provide some sort of super discounted rate. Sometimes you can even provide the business plan at a very minimal without profit just to get them on board. You can do it for 1 month, for 3 months, just to get them into your platform. And after the 3 months, you can start actually, well, as you can see here, after the 3rd month is gone, like January 1st, they'll be charged $35, the usual pricing. So then you can start profit, just to get them on board, just to get them, using the platform. And these 14 days are obviously key for you to engage them, so they can build those funnels and those websites, and to see the value, so that they don't get refunded, and that they continue to pay you after the promotional period is over. So this is, I think, is just so powerful that if you're doing such campaigns, you can just really kill it. And this is how they killed it. They do anywhere from 20-30 new subscribers per day when they're doing webinars, and they're doing nothing too special, really. And actually their average subscription is quite high. It's I think around $35 a month for something like the personal plan. So they have crazy margin, like 400%, something like this. So everybody can do it, as long as you have, you can do the ads, you can do the webinar and optimize the funnel. You can absolutely do so by promoting and using the subscribe widget. That's just so simple to capture them. Because if you send them to a trial, it's very highly likely that they will not be doing much, because when person doesn't spend money for a service, they often doesn't commit too much to the product, since they haven't spent any money. But if they spend, let's say, $100 or $200, whatever the proposition is that you're doing, they'll be more likely to use it. And yeah, after they submit, they'll be just subscribing and getting to the builder, so they can start there. So these are the funnels. Really powerful. Of course, we can spend so much time discussing the funnels for webinars, but the great thing is that you can track and optimize your steps, which is so crucial to see where your funnel might be lacking and in conversion. So you can optimize that step. You can optimize the messaging. You can split test everything. Of course, always try to split test, not only for your customers, for your own funnels. We always do it. You can even split test your homepage, and you haven't seen it. I can even show it at the end of the webinar, how to split test your homepage, because that's just almost no tool provides you that solution. Yet when you think about it, that's the most important part. What exactly messaging works for you and what doesn't? What's more important? Nothing. I mean, sometimes you can have 2 or 3 times more conversions. So every dollar that you spend is like, it's just you spend 2 or 3 times more for the same conversion. That just doesn't make sense. So optimizing, that's just so key. I cannot stress it out too much. And of course, the great thing with the sales funnels and the subscription widget, that you can always see here how you're performing. And when you're doing different campaigns, you can use different funnels, so you can easily see which funnel for what campaign did the most. So if you're doing a few webinars for different channels, you can just clone this one and use it for the other channel. Why? Because if you send both, or whatever, how many channels you're trying to generate traffic with, you might see that one is converting 3 times more and the other is not so good. This way you can see, all right, it doesn't make sense for me to spend so much money on that one that is not converting. I can prioritize all of my traffic to come from this one. So this is how you can use the split test of them, or in general, like, to test out different channels of acquisition. All right, so let me see some questions. I guess there will be some webinar questions. You think Facebook Live better than webinar? Well, Facebook Live is kind of like a webinar if you're doing them for people who are engaging with you. But, well, I personally don't like Facebook Live for selling. I think people should sign up somewhere. Obviously, I don't think you can embed Facebook Live anyway, so you cannot go to have a step in your funnel where it is for the live webinar, for example. So you cannot email this step to a customer. You can email the Facebook Live, I suppose, where you can have a call to action there, maybe to go to the promo where they can purchase. I guess it can work. It's what suits you best. I personally prefer doing it with YouTube, and of course you can use another software especially for webinars, where you can have like automatic replays and all these things. You can have here replays as well, just by creating a new step, I guess. Just duplicating here, for example. And here you can just have, instead of the live, obviously, you have the same, just not live, but webinar replay. And you can send out this webinar replay to all the people who've signed up for your webinar after it's over. If it's evergreen, you can have just a chain where you'll be sending this step this step when the process is done. And again, you can have another promo, or just send out from this page again to the step number 5, so they can go to the promo again. So from the webinar replay, they can go to the promo again, just switching the order, kind of. So yeah, webinar live. How much lead time is the best to start? How much lead time is best to start a webinar? Not sure what you mean by lead time. Newbie here. Do customers ever ask if those testimonials are fake and want to go to verify? Well, we haven't yet used any fake testimonials, but I don't think they'll. I mean, this is for if you don't have any yet, so you can use those. But in general, it's always nice if you have any question, any customers, ask them. But the ones that we used, the good thing is that they're saying what we want them to say. So, such as giving some numbers, giving some percentages, throwing rocks at our enemies here. Other platforms that are expensive and not so good. So I think it's fine. It's not harming anyone. If you don't have any, you have to start with some. I think, in my opinion, it's very key. I always look for happy customers and videos. When I try to watch some webinar, and what exactly are they stressing the customers, what they're telling about the service. So if you don't have any, I don't think it's a harm if you use fake ones just for the beginning. Okay, yeah, it's a good idea to make some cross upsells. So clients ask him for a testimonial. When we'll be able to sell funnels on? Well, we can sell funnels only now. Yeah, maybe you're asking because, so if you don't want to sell websites, that's fine. You can just hide all the templates from the website section of your white label. So when you go to templates, you can just hide all the templates for websites, and you can just leave the funnels. If you want to sell them through from the website only, to have funnels as part of the whole process. For example, here I generally don't think it's the best idea, but we can say template select just for the sake of the example. That's not a good way to do it, but you can have as part of your pages, you can have themes. Where's themes? You can have the themes, and from the themes you can just pre-select just the funnels, so you can only show the funnels into this page. So when somebody selects one of the funnels that you have, the next step would be to actually to get started to the next one. So they can start with just the funnels, not showing any of the other pages that you have. Web hooks would be the best solution for white labels. Cut rate 89 and ClickFunnels 97. Yes, it's quite expensive. When will be the shipping integration with? Okay, that's at some point. That's, I guess, with Zapier. Well, for the webinars, how much time upfront? I suppose. Well, you can run a campaign like 4 or 5 days before the webinar, so you can start running a campaign. Let's say Saturday, Sunday, because the Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because the webinar would be on Thursday, and then when Thursday is over, you can start promoting the webinar replay, and then you can start again from Saturday, Sunday. It really depends on when the most people were converting. So if on the Sundays I think people can convert really well on Saturday and Sunday, especially if it's for webinar during the next week. So I think don't think it's an issue there. So you can start anywhere from 4 or 5 days, I suppose, before the webinar to start promoting. Me personally, I don't obviously do that because I'm always do it in the last moment. I usually do it like 2 days before, which is not good. 3-4 days is better. Since Squarespace is the biggest player in the market, it would be nice to have a table that shows benefits. Well, obviously you can create your own sales pages, and if you're trying to do a campaign, how we're better than Squarespace, how we're better than Wix. Obviously, you can add your comparisons. But there are so many things that are better than Squarespace. Almost there is nothing that is not better than Squarespace. Simply the building capabilities are so more customization. Funnels, there is no builder on the market with funnels. There is a few funnel builders, like I said, but they're expensive and they're pretty bad in what they do. Here you have amazing templates. Obviously, you can create your own templates for a specific market. And they're so easy. Actually, we're preparing now a big update where you even have a slightly different interface here for even more things that you'll be able to do with the funnels. So I think the funnels is just, you have to promote this. It's just so unique, and like I said, you have to stand out from the crowd. Like in here, you have to stand out, and the funnels is just the best way. First of all, it helps so much the businesses, which is what the business wants. And it's different than anybody else have on the market. So why not provide the funnels? This is for me, it's no brainer. That's why we have only plans with funnels in Symfony. We removed all the non-funnel ones. We only left them for the white labels because you might need them, but I don't see a reason why should anyone use them. You not use the funnels. Okay, so that was strategy number 2, webinars and workshops. So this is about the webinars. Workshops, very similar. The great thing about the webinars is because you create this bond, because you're talking to the customer and it's more personal. They can ask questions. That's why it's better than just sending them somewhere. And you can present, give these benefits, present the platform at some point, and easily convert after that. Workshops are always also really great, even sometimes even better, because you have this interaction between you and the people. So usually the workshops are for less, like 10, 20, 15 people, and because you can do like discuss the examples of the pains of the business. You can even show a few things about specifically for them, and be more interactional, where the webinar is more about presentational, workshops more interactional. So you can have certain dates for workshops, for example, when you're starting to promote. You can have, let's say, a webinar every week, but you can have 2 or 3 workshops every week as well, where small groups of people can join you, let's say even 5 people, and you can do a session, like let's say 30-60 minute session. Instead of doing one-on-one calls, you can just help them out in batches, and it's again personal, and it's more scalable this way. Pricing and offer. So how do you price your product, and how do you do this offer? Obviously, the offer I just showed you how you can create promotions for easy access to what you're doing. Obviously, these strategies can also be done with free trial, but I genuinely don't think it's better to have some, at least booking the calls. That's, I think, is just there is no wiggle room, that you just have to have the one-on-one calls, and then you can give them access or build the site for them. When it comes for the webinars, I don't think, I mean, it can work with the free trial. You can test it out. You can test it out, but I think it's when they commit some payment up front, their engagement will be a lot more. You filter the ones that are not committed. And when you're doing like 14-day free trial, 14-day money back guarantee, it's pretty much like free trial, just making sure that you have to cancel if you're not happy with the service. So that's puts your more pressure on you, so that you make sure that they do something with the product and on themselves, for that matter. And pricing offer is the how moment is when they realize that the value of the product is greater than the price. So in general, I have a lot of questions when people are asking, how we can compete with Wix, how can we compete with some other builder that is super cheap, and actually not so cheap when you think about it. Well, you don't. When you start competing yourself for price, or when you try to be the cheapest on the market, you already lost. That's not the idea, because you try to provide something that actually solves people's problem, not that it's the most affordable, so that they lose the least when they fail. That's not the idea, because like I saw, 9 of 10 businesses are failing. So if their mentality is, I want to do this small in the smallest investment, so I lose the least when I fail, that's just not a good mentality. So you can charge them more for the specific solution that you provide to them. And when they see that, let's say that you're charging them $35-$40 a month, for a business website where they can have unlimited pages, sales funnels, lead generation funnels, and they're getting, like, let's say 10, 15, 20 even. That's very little, but let's say this amount of new calls, new leads, that's already paid off for this $30-$40, because even if they convert like only a few of those customers, they are already upfront quite a lot of money, because they're using something that converts a lot better than what previously they had, or they didn't even have before. So just by showing them that this can work, this gives them customers and leads and sales, they'll be more than happy to spend even more, because they see that the value is greater than pricing. It's obviously, it's not easy. This is pretty much the hardest part when you're doing your onboarding process, but it's key. You cannot go around this. This is the key of the business. And when you're doing your campaigns, conversation boosters are very important. Like I said, having testimonials and case studies of happy customers are such a conversation booster and call to action booster, because they show this happy people using your products. Then is the promotions and free gifts, gifts, of course. That it's you have some running promotion, the promotion that I showed you, free information, free knowledge that you're giving to them in these webinars, or free PDF with some tips and tricks how to grow your customer, for example. You can send them those things as part of the whole processing process of onboarding and capturing the information. And this creates this bond between you and them. Scarcity, again, something really great. Promo expirations, like you've seen everywhere, we have on the checkouts. On the checkouts, we have, let me go here. You have the scarcity. It's running out. All right, I have 30 seconds. I have to purchase now. Otherwise, I'm losing this 200 and whatever discount. So it's great to have this. And of course, money back guarantee. That's also a great thing when a person sees. That's why we've added it here as pretty prominent, so they can see it right away, that they're secure with us. Even if they pay and don't like it, they can cancel and they'll get their money back. And the third strategy is masterclass and education. This is some of my favorite as well. When I was doing the funnel these days, is something that we also be doing for Simulate as well. And here is a step-by-step masterclass tutorial. And let me show you what it is. Masterclass. It is very similar to the webinar, but actually, yeah, very similar to the webinar, but without doing webinar, but doing videos only. And you have again the sales pitch. Again, test it out all the time. You have some video. This will be a very entry video where you have like 2-3 minutes tops. And the call to action is, yes, I want to learn more. Actually, yeah, like this. Yes, I want to learn more, or yes, I want to learn how to get more leads, goals, how to build my funnels, and how to change my business overnight. So how do I get that? So just click on this button and you'll know. Then, of course, you can see what is the secrets we'll be covering in this masterclass. You can say that is free of charge, but hurry up because the slots are expiring. So always, hurry up because you'll be losing this. Always this scarcity, this pushing towards the goal. What's the funnel is about, to getting them from the step 1 to step, in this case, step 7, which is the promo. Of course, other people who used it, very, very similar as the webinar landing page. But the only difference here is when you click on the call to action, you get to the, of course, opt-in, and then you get to the video guides. So in the first video, you're just taking their interest and sending them to these different courses that are, let's say, like 15-20 minutes, even less sometimes. It really depends. You can test it out. Videos. First can be, how to structure and how to start your website or funnels, such as video. And then you can have a call to action on the bottom, where is, how to start your first sales funnel. So click here and you can go to the next step. Or if you're ready to get started, grab the special promo deal. So this way you can, send them to the next one. They can see, more information about it. You educate them along the way of the webinar, of the funnel. And with each video, they know more, they get more confident with your product, and you can filter them out. And actually, when you're doing your remarketing and other things, that you can see who went on which step, and then you can send them a different message to get to the next video, for example. And you have here like sell like crazy, create your first sales funnel. You have a sales funnel video. And again, the next one is how to connect to domain. We have some process of different videos going one after the other. And at the bottom, again, grab a special promo deal now if you're ready to get started. Again, you can delete this. Same thing, just different video. I guess you have video 3, capturing your lazy visitor. So you can have different types of videos for different, educational purposes. We've added some of ours. You can obviously use your own videos as well. And at the end, this is the 4th video that we have, how to build your first ads. Obviously have to be created. And then along the way, always you were able to grab a special promo deal, and at the end you have a bigger button here, so you can, this is the last video, you can grab the deal, or feel free, don't feel ready yet, book a call with us. And why we added this at the bottom, and why we added this at the last one and not the other ones, because we wanted to filter the people who are not very serious about what you're doing, so that you don't get calls with people who are just watching the first video and just booking a call right away. We want people to go through the different steps and be sure that they've learned enough, at least get through the different videos and they book a call with you. So this way you filter the serious from not serious people. And of course, along the way, always you would be able to go to the promo. And in the promo, you can have the subscription widget again with some kind of a deal. Again, you can select, this deal for the business plan, for example, charging $169, and you're ready. And obviously you have here the same copy with the scarcity. And I think it's such a great funnel, this one, because you don't bother with webinars. You can get them started right away with the videos that you want them to see in a specific order, and after each or below each video you can get them to the promo so they can purchase right away. So as long as you put the nice videos here and nice converting landing page, just bringing the correct traffic, you can have a sales machine. Well, with the others as well, but here you have very little to interact with in general, unless you have some codes. So I think it's just amazing masterclass funnel that you can use. Yeah, this is the strategy 3. I think it's really amazing, this one as well. Let's see some questions that you might have, and I'll be trying to go to the other few funnels, a few things that we have to cover, and because quite a lot of time has been passed, so try to wrap it up quick. How we found the optimal pricing for each package? Well, Brett, it really depends on what kind of a target market you have. There is no correct way to say that, but I'll be going through the pricing in the video here, in the slides here. They'll be more focused about pricing in general. Is it possible to assign a client with a plan using invoice rather than monthly? Is it possible to assign a client with a plan using invoice? Well, no, they have to purchase it. Otherwise, you will never know when they purchase the plan. So to get started with the subscription, we just have to purchase it. Tested follow-up sequence, is that sequence of emails that you're asking? Converting leads into paid customers. Are you asking about emails, or not sure? So yeah, let's continue because the webinar is getting too long. So the sales funnel and the whole process, whatever the funnel is. So you have the traffic source, whatever the traffic source you have, you play around. It can be outbound, search, referral, whatever it is. Obviously, this is the first point that you get with the customer. Then you obviously send them to the landing page, the top of the funnel. This is the page where you make sure that you give enough information that the person would take an action and go to the whatever the rest of the funnel is, which can be an appointment type, the first strategy that we've started. It can be a webinar, the webinar sign up, or the masterclass that's lastly I've shown you. And then of course is the sign up, work with the builder. So always test out the different steps and where you might be losing the most customers, because this is your sales process. If you're lacking some of these steps, obviously you have an issue there, and that can stop from having a machine, you can say, that generates you money. Because for every dollar you spend, you have to have an X amount of return. And really it depends on the optimization of each step and how it's converting to make sure that it makes the most. SaaS metrics. So to finish up, they have to talk about how what is the SaaS metrics because you're growing a SaaS. Customer acquisition cost is how much you spend to acquire customers. Lifetime value, LTV, how much you generate during the lifetime of a customer. And churn, how many customers you're losing every month or year. And here we'll be doing some things. How do you calculate your customer acquisition cost? And I'll tell you why this is important. Because this will determine how much we can spend on specific funnel that we created, how much money we can spend for ads, and generally to acquire this customer through this funnel. So customer acquisition or CAC you can calculate by the total investment to get the customer. So that is all the sales efforts, all the ads that you spend, all the time that you spend, divided by the acquired customers that you have. So that is the customer acquisition cost. How much cost you to get this customer? Everything that you spend. Lifetime value is the average monthly revenue times how many months averagely you have this customer, how many months you have this customer. And usually LTV you can calculate by what is your yearly churn. So let's say that you're losing 10 people, 10% of your customers each year. That means that your lifetime value is 10 years, because in 10 years you lose all your customers, basically, by calculations. That means that whatever you're doing, like each year from a customer times 10 is your lifetime value of this of a customer. So the churn, that's why it's so important, because that can increase or decrease your lifetime value to make sure that they are stay with you and pay for more and more years, so that you have more profit out of them. That means that you can spend more time for acquiring more money to acquire customers. And again, churn is how many customers leave your platform, and nurturing and retention is what gets them from leaving, and to show them all the time the value continuously of using the product. And usually the standard formula for what is your customer acquisition cost is the customer acquisition cost divided the lifetime value should be less than 30% or around 30%. But I think it's not a good measurement, because if you have a business that is having like 10% churn, like 10-15%, that means that a lifetime value of a customer is around 10 to let's say 7 years. That means that if your customer acquisition cost is anywhere around 30%, that means that at least like 2 years you have to spend without being profitable, which I don't think that's a way for any business to grow. That's why I have my own formula, and I think that's good for any business that you're doing, that you have to be profitable after 6 or 9 months when you spend some money for acquiring a customer. And here I have an example. If your average subscription is $35 a month, and let's say that this is on the business plan, so your profit is around $22 profit, your customer acquisition cost should not be more than $200 to capture one customer, because after the 6 or 9 months you'll be able to recoup what you've invested for them. But if you're doing the first strategy where you have a custom design as well, in most cases you might want to increase the customer acquisition cost a bit, because you're selling another service, and obviously you can take some of that, what you've generated from there, into the customer acquisition cost, and to have it like $300 or $350. Again, it really depends on your profit margin and what other services you might be charging them for. But yeah, I think that's the 6 to 9 months. That's a kind of ideal. If you can, after that, it's all profit. It's pretty good. Plans and pricing overview. So we cannot talk about customer acquisition, etc., without pricing and how much we charge you. This is our fees. So in this chart, we've removed the ones, actually we have it here. without funnels. I actually have without funnels some of them, but we removed the e-commerce ones because pretty much they didn't make any sense from the chart at least. If you have them, you still have them in your white label. But yeah, because the business is pretty much business with funnels was pretty much the same pricing as the e-commerce, but the e-commerce didn't have the funnels, which obviously makes it an obsolete. Kind of same goes for, I think, for the growth, something like that. But you can use them if you still have them. So these are our pricing. I can tell you for Jose, he has the pro plan, so he have the high discount rate. So he has really nice profit margins. Like I said, I think he's selling this one. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's selling this one. Yeah, and he's selling like $35 per month. So he has crazy profit margins. So actually, he has a really amazing webinars where he gets his money out of the 3 month promo. He's already profitable. So after the 3 months, whatever customer stays, which is quite a lot of people, quite a lot of percentage, he's already there profitable like crazy. So that's why he was able to scale so fast. So you can do that as well. Obviously, everybody can do it. It's not so hard. And the pricings are really, you can charge at least 3 or 4 times sometimes for these when you're targeting specific market, when you're targeting, with some campaigns that you're doing, simply because you're providing a lot more than just a website. You're providing a lot more than any builder on the market. ClickFunnels, for example, is starting from $100 a month, and they don't even have half of the amazing, designs that we have, or the simplicity. It's not user friendly. It's not for the businesses. It's so expensive. But here you can have you can have your own amazing profit margin, especially for small businesses. It's just amazing pricings that you can use. And obviously, you would need to have one of those plans to have the subscription widget, the affiliates as well, and the higher discount rate, because that helps you save more. And if you have like 30, 40 even customers, you already are saving more than what you would spend with this plan, for example. And as you can see, for the growth plan, we are selling it with a lot higher discount, as you can see, and it's so powerful. Very soon, we're almost done with the multi-sites and separation of funnels and websites, where you'll be getting 3 websites with this plan. So this plan can be like the ultimate. So this can be for starting businesses, and this can be for growing businesses, the ultimate plans, because here a business can have 3 websites, a business can have 30 funnels for 30 different campaigns that they're doing. So it's so powerful, and of course unlimited store products as well if somebody's selling quite a lot. And the Pro, of course, it's for people who have a lot of websites, a lot of funnels. You can obviously sell for quite substantial amount because it has the 10 websites. That can be a plan very suitable for any agency, and for you as well, this whole plan in general. And if you're building, especially with the first strategy with the bookings, and if you want to scale it up, you can have the websites so much discounted when you're building them with this new offer where you get the pro plan with the multiple sites, because basically each website, let's say if we take it here or even here, you get 10 websites for basically for $8 each that you can use for customer. This is pretty much the cheapest you can get a website anywhere, simply because this $8 website, when you think about it, it has unlimited pages, it has unlimited funnels, it has unlimited store products, and it's $8. It's usually have to pay. You have to pay usually like $70, and a customer anywhere to build something like that with limited pages and limited funnels and limited store products, that's usually more than $100 itself. and you get it for 8 hours if you use this plan for building websites for customers, for more customers later on. So if you scale such operation when you're building the sites, you can have crazy profit margins, almost negligible fees on our side. And again, I want to finish with Jose and it's really amazing what they've done for 8 months, and I think they'll be able to do that even more in the next 8 months to come. And trust me, you can do it. We've seen them doing it, and we're really happy that we have such partner. We're happy to have you all, but it's amazing how they've done it so quickly. And any of you can do it. Obviously, you can start small. You can start with the first strategy, where you have the. I think the first strategy everybody should start with to understand better your audience, to work more on your copies. You can scale it up. You can you can generate some income in order to invest it into the other strategies, which are more automated. But you can grow easily to 100 customers with this strategy as well, simply because if you do calls every day, if you have a really nice optimized funnel like the ones that I've shown you, you can easily have calls like 10 calls every day. If you're signing 2-3 each one of them, when you think about it, for a month you can have 100 new customers. Obviously you'll have to build some websites, or you show them some way to build them themselves, in like a workshop or something. But yeah, you can not just 100 for 3 months, you can have a few hundred for 3 months just by doing this. And obviously once you get to this point, if your funnel is really working, you can just scale it up by hiring more people, sales, design, so they can do it for you. But I think the designs are really well made. I will try to create some videos these days for you to use for every funnel, so you don't have to build your videos as well. But I genuinely encourage you to build your videos yourself. What softwares you can use? I personally use Bandicam. It has a free version, but it has a watermark that you can cut out. That's what I was doing before, but you can purchase it for, I think it's like $40, something like that, one-time payment, and it's really nice quality Bandicam, and yeah, it's pretty nice that you can use. And you can screen capture your screen. It's high quality, and yeah, it's really nice. It's a way to capture a screen, record your voice. I even have the option. Actually, I close it. It has the option to show yourself in the corner somewhere. Like I said, that's even better for conversion. So yeah, the videos is pretty much the only thing that you're currently missing somehow, in some way. We do have the white label videos that you can use that are non-branded. Very soon they will be available in the builder as well, but you can use them, for example, in your masterclass videos. If you don't want to create your own, you can just add our own that we've created for you, and you can use them here, showing all these parts of the whole platform. But in general, yeah, it's I encourage you to play around, to create some videos. If not, I'll be creating some that you can use as well. And all you have to do is pretty much do the calls with your people who signed up. Hopefully, you have a full calendar filled with calls. And yeah, just provide the actual solution, just like being growing your own sales, growing your own builder, but with our videos. I mean, if that makes sense for you, we'll try to do it for you. so that you can have them right away. But yeah, I think you can start using the funnels anytime. You're even on the main plan, the small plan, the white label one, you still get 3 funnels that you can use. You will not be able to use the sales funnel, so it's good for the first strategy, for the booking calls, and then you can transition to the webinars and the masterclass where you can actually collect payments via the subscription widget, or you can just jump in on the subscription widget and get the amazing discount rates that we have. But to summarize, the important parts are: first, find the niche market, start with something small, and then gradually expand to bigger markets. Start with the booking, at least for the moment, or if you have already traction and you know exactly what you want, you can start with the webinars, because they really work like charm. Just as long as you create a nice webinar, and you know, you have now the funnels, you have the subscriptions, you have the promotions that you can offer. All you have to do is just do a webinar and send some Facebook traffic to it. That's it. And you can have Jose's story. Seriously, that's how they did it. Talk to your customers. The one most important part: talk to your customers all the time. That shows, you know, make this connection between you and them. Optimize your funnels, all the process, to make sure that you don't miss out on some of the steps, because that can break your funnel and break your overall strategy. Try with different traffic sources and see which one works the best for you. And you can have different funnel for different traffic source, so you know which one is converting again the best, which one is bouncing the most. You can do that things. Customer journey, always aim to get the people to the aha moment, show them all the benefits, talk to them always about the benefits of the product and what they can get and how they can grow their business. And yeah, that's the most important part for them. Test your headlines. Test out with the 10 greatest 100 greatest headlines. Test it out, you know, adjust them for your needs. Talk about the benefits and tell your story. Be personal when you do webinars, when you do any sales pitch, when you do one-on-one calls. In the webinars and workshops, yeah, I think I've said everything at the moment that I can think of. Just just optimize your webinars. Be personal in the webinars. Make sure that you show yourself as very credible in what you're saying, and ask them questions. You know, be more conversational with your webinar attendees. Conversation boosters always use testimonials and happy case studies from one few customers that you have. If you have, you may have quite a lot, but ask some of them to give you a testimonial case study about how they've grown their business by using your product and your platform. Always do promotions like the ones that I did for the webinar, and free gifts. Scarcity if you're running a promotion, and money back. Very, very key. And yeah, calculate and make sure that everything makes sense when you're trying to invest something, so you don't break your bank. But yeah, this is a good formula. I don't think this is too good if you want to be profitable soon. So this is, I think, something better. And let's answer some questions before we finish. 2 hours of a webinar, quite long. So Marcos, about email sequences, maybe we'll have another video or something about that. We're still trying to work out hours, but when you do basically when you do email sequences on your customers, always again talk about first of all, be personal. I personally like using non-template emails, meaning that without, you know, this HTML site where it looks more like a newsletter rather than a personal email. So just using plain text emails, I think, work very good. Be personal, talk about the benefits. Again, show them, you know, how to get this, you know, this and that by using this product. So one feature on an email, but one thing that they can achieve more than the feature itself. Can you make multiple currency per plan? Not yet at the moment for the multiple currency. Do we have scripts for the videos? I'll try to send you these days for those who sign up on our page to send you a script for the webinar and some other things there as well that we're working on at the moment. ShipStation, I think, should be available with the Zapier integration next week. Should be available, or something like that. Should we email you to get the webinar script and mentioned? So if you sign up for the form, you'll be getting them. So if you haven't signed up, just let me know in the live chat and I'll send you once we have it. Print in demand, so sure, it's okay. One ShipStation, one Printful. Yes, I think ShipStation and Printful, they're part of the Zapier anyway, so you can use them with that. So yeah, that's about the webinar. The strategies, the 3 strategies, the main one. Obviously, there's another one that you can use is the affiliates. We didn't discuss that. We didn't have much time, but you can use the affiliate as well. Just have to recalculate there the profit sharing that you'll be doing. Obviously, that will be cutting your profit. Depending on how much, obviously, commission you'll be giving them. But yeah, these are some, and they really work. I mean, for sure, we know about that they work. We've tried them, especially the one-on-one calls. We've been doing quite a lot of those. It's working like a charm, especially with white labels. The webinars, crazy conversion, and it's more scalable. And the masterclass, it's something new that we are trying as well. And yeah, it's also scalable. And when you have videos, it's easy. It's like a machine that we can just bring people, and they're having less questions. They're getting engaged easily and converting more. Especially with the business promo, I think the subscription really is just groundbreaking here. How you can collect payments right away is just amazing, and you can use them for so many different campaigns. With doing, you don't have to charge them for a full year. Just doing some really nice promotions and upsells, of course, with bump offers. So that's about it. I guess you never come to Simply. We never come to have a Facebook group. There's a customer who really hope for Printful. Yeah, Printful, sure. I mean, I didn't know it. So, I mean, just let us know in the live chat. Do they all 15,000 people need the Printful? If they do, I'll just do it tomorrow. Yeah, well, I didn't know it's so required. Could you invite us to share some tips? Well, yeah, I guess we'll discuss with him if he wants to join. What is typical affiliate percentage? Well, it really depends. I've seen builders providing like 10%. I've seen builders providing 40%. So it really depends on your pricing, your profit margins. So whatever makes sense for you. There is no right question. Really depends of the acquiring an affiliate. How much is your profit margin? Is it enough when you give the affiliate commission? And then you have supports for those customers. At least you don't have technical and server costs like we do, but you still have fees for us as well. Thanks for the shout out. I've been selling 2 of my clients waiting for Printful. I guess Printful is quite a lot. It's good, but Guten is better, I think. I don't know. Guten really, since Printful is on Zapier, it does what. Yeah, so since it's on Zapier, I guess you can use it on Zapier, no? Or you want a native integration? I don't know. Okay, yeah, well, I guess I didn't know it's Printful so required. I guess we can go after that. So yeah, just to finish here, subscriptions for e-commerce is something that we'll try to do in the next sometime in April. we'll try to introduce subscriptions for e-commerce. So you can now do subscription type of payments. We'll be able to, not yet. So that's something very exciting. We'll be doing the CRM very soon. So like I said, we're trying to promote to create a product that is helping business in any way. So there will be a special engage section here that will have the CRM, the messaging, the members will be in that. Soon, probably we'll be adding the booking. So you will have the booking as well, and possibly a lot more things very soon as well. I don't want to promise anything too much, but yeah, these are for sure in the make, the CRM as well, in the Zapier. Well, the Zapier is really good. Like I said, it's going to be very, very nice. It will be, yeah, I think you'll love it. We'll have a special webinar for that. Next week, yeah, hopefully that will be the big update with the multiple sites. The multiple sites with the separation of funnel websites, the CRM, and Zapier right after. So the security, well, when your customer asks about backups and security, well, we use Amazon, very secure servers, daily backups we have, so everything is taken care of on our end. So we'll be doing after the Zapier. The next priority, as you all probably want, is the most requested feature is the undo, redo, page history, and publish. So that should be around the end of March, I hope, available. So they'll be able to do versioning of their pages, so they can save old version and they can go back to it. Can we have a webinar on white label on a regular basis, like once a month with the new materials? Yeah, I mean, we try to do webinar almost even more frequent than once a month. We will be trying to do webinars almost every week, but they will be covering mostly for new white label partners. For old ones, we'll just be doing general webinars when we're releasing something new. Yeah, Zapier is not free. That's true. We'll see. Yeah, if there's so many people, I guess. Have you guys created a notes request for Printful? I'm not sure. Just vote it there. So I see how many of you have it. Maybe even can create some kind of a poll. How many people, if you want to use Printful? Well, Adam, well, yeah, we're trying to do new templates, but of course you can create your own unique templates as well. You don't always have to wait for us. There is partners who build hundreds of templates themselves. So yeah, just you can do it yourself as well. If you want a specific template, you can build a field for a specific market, and through having a funnel, you can have a specific messaging for that, like the booking one. Want to have a restaurant website, talking about that, how you can grow your business, your restaurant, get more goals, have a testimonial for a restaurant, just an example. And then, yeah, you can show them a few templates, or you can just get them started. The next can be, get started with the next step can be get started with a template for the specific market. This is a possible funnel that I can do for you later today or tomorrow. Similar like this, but instead of book a call, can be get started with this can be for a niche market, and then the next step would be selecting the niche template, and then the purchase of, let's say, 3 months. So you can have this landing page, select a template for whatever the niche market is that you've created, and the next one is get a 3 months, for example, with 14-day money back. Can we hide templates from specific people? Well, you can. So at the moment, the Teams widget works that you can show the websites or funnels or online stores. These days we'll add the option for narrower categories that you have. So you can just show that category itself into the page. To hide it, well, your website can be using all of them, just to they can filter from. If they build a new site inside your builder, they will again see all of them because they're part of your builder. But when you're doing funnel, for example, you can just select the one category that you want, so that they don't get confused. Yeah, templates are so easy to use. I mean, actually, you have so many page templates as well that you can build a new website basically for 5 minutes. All you have to do is just change a few text, I suppose, and a few images, and you can have a new template and a funnel for lead generation for whatever it is. You can also add like the home funnels you have. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, yeah, how you can split test your landing pages and for your customers as well, which is even if a customer have a website, why it's good to have at least one funnel. And for you as white label partners, how to test out if this copy is good, for example, or what you have. We have a whole video for that, but you can create a empty page, empty funnel, which is, let's say, home, and then all you have to do is move your home page. They just duplicate it just for the example. Okay. So yeah, so you have your home page and you can just move it to a funnel. Select the, why do I have two homes? And now we have your maybe I guess I made two homes. So now you have your home page as a home funnel. You have this indication for being a home funnel. And now this page is just part of the home page. And now you can split test it. And just like that, you've created split test for your homepage of your website. That's why I say it's so powerful for any business, no matter what it does. Even if they don't want to have sales or lead generation or whatever it is. Well, actually, every business has lead generation, so scratch that. All you have to do is add the next step. So if your next step is, I don't know, go to the Teams page, just make sure that the next step that you create here is the Teams. So you see how many people are converting, because right now you cannot track the conversion since there is nowhere to go to as part of the funnel. So you can add the next step just like that, or whatever the call to action is. Just go to the next step of the call to action. So just like that, you can do this. So that's why it's so powerful. I mean, for any business, having the ability to split test any page and be able to convert, like say 2 or 3 times more just by changing colors or messaging or stuff like that is worth it. I mean, you get the one funnel with the personal plan with funnel, which is I think like $7 to $5 for you as cost. Obviously, you can sell it for entry level like $20 easily to get people to get started, and then you can obviously upsell them for different things like more pages for the business, more funnels, whatever they're doing. Yeah, shape dividers at some point. Yeah, I always say at some point, but I really need to finish on the upsells, downsells, the Zapier, the CRM, the do, and after that we will spend at least 1 week for new widgets such as accordion, such as tab widget, divider shapes we'll add as well. So right after, I think we'll be adding after the undo. So I'd say April, more widgets, no more, but the dividers, the shape dividers, and the copy of column, something that I really want to add. So there'll be a button to copy it and just create the same copy here, and the option for gutter between the columns. So no more adding an extra column to make the spacing. You'll be able to add a gutter. So that's something also planned for this 1 week that will be dedicating on new widgets and new stuff to the platform. Yeah, I think that's about it. Uh, Anything else, or shall we finish? Because it's been like almost 2.5 hours. Crazy webinar, almost like Jose's webinars where he's selling. I'm not even selling anything. I'm just trying to educate here. And hopefully you liked it. It's my first webinar that I do purely about growth and how to do things. Maybe it's not so great. Hopefully, I mean, a lot of you bounced. Hopefully, I didn't bore you too much. But really, this strategy works. I'm not saying it for. I mean, it is so important for us that you are successful because, as you know, we're partners, and every business that you bring to your business is also uh, profit for us. So that's why we do this. We want to ensure that you have a lot of customers. We want any of you to be able to get in the next 3-6 months at least 100 new customers. And trust me, you can do it as long as you are committed to it. You're not just, I'll be slacking this week or I'll be slacking these few days. Just be systematic about what you're doing. Just do a plan, and actually the plan is just to start your funnel. Just record a few videos. You can do all that within a day, and set up a few campaigns for Facebook or for AdWords, and just bring those customers. Of course, identify what's your niche. Play around with the A/B testing, so you test out different messagings. That's very important. I think you should start it right away when you're doing. For example, if you're doing the booking one, just do the A/B testing right away. Don't wait to see how it's converting. Just test out with different messaging, because I don't know, something else might work for whatever niche you're trying to approach. So just play around and see. And all you have to do is that's it. You have the funnels already. You have your white labels already. Um, uh, Sign up for Calendly. That's 2 minutes. Record a one video here for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, or yeah, 5 minutes is fine, and have them to book a call, and then just onboard them to get your Calendly, to get to the next step, to sign up, and then have conversations with them. Have 15 minutes calls, fill your calendars with calls, and get crazy amounts of work. And you'll be getting, if you get a 5 or 10 calls a day, and if you get to, yeah, like I said, you can get like 30, 60 new sites that you can do every month. Just have to be systematic. You have to get started, and stop having excuses not to start something, because basically you can start with a very small budget. You can even start without any budget, with the outbound strategies, where you can use LinkedIn messaging or Facebook messaging. You don't have to spend on ads. Usually this is, not a lot of people will return your calls. I mean, return your messages, and go to the page. uh, but you can do it even without any spendings. You can do it today, tomorrow, because it's probably late, depending where you are, of course. But yeah, you can start with PPC. You can start with other channels. Like we said here, really depends on where you can get to, but obviously this is the best scalable way, as you can spend X amount of money, get X amount of traffic, and X amount of demo calls. And if it makes sense, the customer acquisition makes sense, so if you, for let's say you spend $100, you get five, I don't know, demo signups. Where is it? Yeah, 5 demo signups, and you get, let's say, one customer for $100. Well, and you charge them, let's say, $35. You have profitable business for just 3 months. You actually, if you charge them for a website, you're profitable right there, and you can do it every day, and you can spend more money, get more traffic, get more calls, get more websites done, get more subscriptions there. All you have to do is just start it. That's the only thing that stops you from doing it. Like you said, you don't even have to spend a dollar. You don't have to be on a growth plan for this strategy. For the next ones, you might need the growth, obviously, for the subscription widget. But for those, yeah, you can start right away. Okay, all right. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate. You have my email. I'll be happy from you if you just let me know if you want us to cover something else. If you have some comments about the webinar that I just did, so we can do often such webinars and help you out with different strategies, what kind of different funnels you might want to have, stuff like that. Just let us know, and hopefully you'll do this. These strategies, at least try one, please. I promise they work. They're tested, and that's why I'm building these funnels for you, because I know that they would work. I guess the video is the hardest part, but I will try to build your videos so you can have those as well. And that's it from me. 2 hours and a half, quite a lot of talking. I hope it's not in vain. So yeah, thanks a lot for the attention. And again, if you have any questions, just let us know. Cheers and have a great night.